Hello, my name is Kailash Rabi Azman, and my maintenance number is 01DKM22F1004.
And my name is Lokman bin Zulkafli, and my metric number is 01DKM22F1008.
My name is Fayanaki bin Farizam. My maintenance number is 01DKM22F10T0.
Okay, my name is Haikal Mafiz bin Jasman, and my matrix number is 01DKM22F1110.
Okay, first of all, the introduction of bearing. Bearing are the mechanical component that reduce the friction between moving parts in machine. They support rotational or linear motion to ensure smooth and efficient operation. There is few type of bearing that I list, which is ball bearing, roller bearing, plain bearing, and fruit bearing. So the what we gonna focus in this slide is the purpose of troubleshooting. The troubleshooting bearing is crucial to prevent failures, avoid unexpected downtime, and ensure the lifetime of machine. Okay, move to the next part, which is equipment for troubleshooting of bearing. So firstly, we have bearing puller and press. It used to remove or install bearing without damage. Secondly, dial indicator gaps to measure bearing run-up and misalignment. So thirdly, thermal camera to monitor bearing temperature as overheating can indicate a problem. Then industrial endoscope to inspect internal part of machinery without disassemble. So lastly, grease gun for proper lubrication maintenance for bearing. Okay, for safety precaution, there is something that we need to ensure for safety before handling troubleshooting for bearing. Firstly, personal protective equipment (PPE), which is safety glasses, gloves, and steel shoes, need to wear before handling the troubleshooting to avoid injury from flying debris or heavy part. Secondly, lockout and takeout to ensure machinery is powered off and locked before inspecting or repairing bearing so that the others can on the machine when we conduct the troubleshooting. So thirdly, handle bearing properly is avoid dropping bearing or exposing them to contaminant like dust or dirt because it can damage the bearing. So then temperature awareness. Allow bearing to cool before handling them to prevent burn. So lastly, proper lifting technique. Use mechanical aid for heavy bearing to avoid injury and to make the bearing not damaged. Thank you.
So for the next slide is maintenance that can be done for troubleshooting for bearing. So I have divided it by 5 maintenance activity, which is a regular lubrication, vibration monitoring, temperature monitoring, bearing alignment, and seal inspection and replacement. If all the maintenance activity could be done regularly, it will greatly extend the life of bearing and reduce the risk of unexpected breakdown. So I will explain clearly for the next. So maintenance that can be done for the first part is regular lubrication, because ensure the correct type of amount is important to a bearing, because we need to apply a lubrication based on the manufacturer and recommendation. Because if we apply based on the recommendation, it's avoid over lubrication, which is can cause overheating and grease explosion. And after next is vibration monitoring. It use a vibration analyzer regularly to detect any change in vibration pattern. It investigate any unusual vibration immediately, as they often indicate underlying problem. For the next one is temperature monitoring. For a bearing, it has a temperature that has been recommended by the industry. So the operator need to use a thermometer or thermal camera to monitor the operating temperature of bearing, because we need to control and investigate any temperature rise beyond the manufacturer recommend limit. So after that is bearing element. Bearing element is one of the most important thing in the troubleshooting for a bearing, which is a maintenance for bearing, because it performed by using a laser alignment tool or dial indicator. Because of what? Because of we want to prevent any misalignment, any unnecessary stress on the bearing. After that is seal inspection and replacement. This is also one of the most important thing, because inspect seal for damaged leak using a regular maintenance. So we want to prevent any contamination, damage. If has a damage to a bearing, we need to replace it regular every week or month. So we move to the next part.
Okay, so for troubleshooting on mechanical component failure and damage, bearings are necessary in machines to keep part moving smoothly. If a bearing fails, it might cause significant complication. Here how to diagnose and fix bearing problem. Firstly, we must know sign of bearing problem. So there are 5 signs of bearing problem. First is noise, second vibration, third visible damage, fourth overheating, and lastly hard to move or to lose. So we already know what signs are bearing problem. Next is what common reason for bearing failure. So there are 5 common reason. Firstly is lack of lubrication. Second is overloading. Third is dirt and debris. Fourth is normal wear. And lastly is misalignment. Okay, next is how to troubleshoot bearing failure. Firstly is look for the damage, then check the lubrication, test for vibration, check the temperature. Lastly is line pipe. Other than that, how to fix the bearing failure? First is add or change the lubrication. Second is replace the bearing. Third is fix alignment. And lastly is change the seals. Okay, so lastly, how to prevent bearing problems? Firstly is lubricate regularly. Second is we must monitor vibration and the temperature of the bearing. Third is inspect often. And lastly, install properly. So the bearing is in good condition and not fail.
Alright, for my part, I want to talk about working procedure. Alright, first of all, how to use bearing removal and how to replacement bearing. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, sekarang saya akan tunjukkan cara-cara untuk menggunakan bearing separator set. Okey, pertama sekali kita buka skru-skru yang berada di bearing separator jaw dan kita longgarkan supaya dan kita boleh memasukkan bearing separator jaw dekat dalam shaft. Seterusnya kita akan ketatkan balik bearing separator jaw dan kita akan menggunakan extension screw. Setelah itu kita menggunakan yoke dan kita mengetatkan yoke supaya tidak longgar. Seterusnya kita akan menggunakan pulley leg. Pulley leg ni bagi untuk kita menolak bearing tu keluar. Alright, seterusnya kita akan menggunakan ratchet untuk menolak pulley leg itu ke hadapan dan bearing tersebut akan terkeluar, akan tercabut. Selesai. Setelah itu, kita membuka skru-skru yang berada di bearing separator set dan kita mengeluarkan bearing separator jaw. Okey, seterusnya kita akan membuat cara kedua iaitu mechanical heating. kita perlulah meletakkan kedua-dua papan itu dalam keadaan tegak dan meletakkan shaft di antara kedua-dua belah kayu tersebut untuk mengelakkan trip trip tidak rosak ketika kita mengetuk arbor tersebut. Kita perlulah menggunakan nut supaya trip tidak dalam keadaan yang rosak. Seterusnya kita hanya perlu mengetuk arbor tersebut dalam keadaan yang betul dan sehinggalah bearing tersebut terkeluar daripada shaft. Selesai. Okey, seterusnya saya akan menunjukkan cara-cara untuk memasukkan bearing ke dalam shaft. Kita memerlukan sleeve dan hammer untuk memasukkan shaft ke dalam memasukkan bearing ke dalam shaft. Seterusnya, bagi mengelakkan trip dalam keadaan rosak, kita perlulah memasukkan nut. Setelah itu, kita perlulah memasukkan sleeve ke dalam sleeve ke dalam shaft dan kita hanya perlu mengetuk sleeve terus dan selesai.
Okay, lastly, for the conclusion. In conclusion, regular troubleshooting and maintenance of bearing are essentially for extending their lifespan and ensuring the smooth operation of machinery. Yearly detection of issue through monitoring vibration, temperature and lubrication helps prevent failure and reduce downtime. Adhering to safety procedure and using the appropriate tools ensure that the troubleshooting process is both safe and effective, contributing to better performance and reliability of the equipment. That's all from us. Thank you.